The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers, and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Proton Pack Podcast. I'm Kristian. With me always is the Venom to my Eddie Brock, Tony. Say hey, Tone.
Hello. We can do whatever we want. We are back for episode 66.
We are back. It's been a couple weeks. Tony was on vacation last week, and there is a whole slew of new entertainment, geeky, nerdy, pop culture news that we want to drop on you guys today. So we're excited to be back and having you guys join us.
Yeah, it's great to be back and excited for a fun new episode of the Proton Pack, where we get to talk all things geeky, nerdy, goofy, fun, silly, all that good stuff.
Oh, always fun. Well, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every show with our shameless plugs.
It's shameless plug time.
It is in these hills that Juan Valdez and his trusty goat gather coffee beans every morning. Yeah. Money is cool.
Money is cool. I did want to plug our Dog Rescue 501c3 nonprofit, Rough Riders, dedicated to the transport of animals from the outlying rural shelters where they may not have a chance, transported into the more metro Reno, Northern Nevada area here, where we work with other shelters and rescues to find them homes, give them a second chance at life. If you want more information, head over to roughriders.org or facebook.com/roughriderssaves. Now, also in our shameless plugs, Tony and I do a little show here each and every day on Fenix Media. Why don't you tell the folks about it, Tone?
Yes, we do a fun morning show called the Kristian Phoenix Radio Show. It's your daily dose of laughs and levity in this crazy, crazy world we live in. We feature topics from entertainment, comedy, sports, music, and more. Just join us every morning, weekday morning, Pacific time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Your morning drive will never, ever be the same again. You can check us out on Fenix Media, the Multiverse of pop culture entertainment. And we got a lot of cool things coming up with that. Well, I should say, thanks to you, we have a lot of things, but subscribe to us on Apple, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Breaker, and wherever you get your podcasts and streaming stuff. So.
Exactly. Well said, Tom. Well, in this first segment, over the last few episodes, we've been talking about the Disney Plus shows that, have been airing each week. Winter and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
or just Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which is still not even like correctly titled because he's not the Winter Soldier anymore.
Exactly.
It should be like Cap and Bucky or something.
There you go. I like it. So it wrapped up. In the meantime, Star Wars The Bad Batch has been released. I'm enjoying at least the first 2 episodes so far, but we're not talking Disney Plus shows in this segment. We're actually going to get a review of a movie you saw yesterday. I saw about a week and a half ago, a movie we're so excited for that, we'll let you know what we thought about it. Talking Mortal Kombat, the James Wan produced rated R Mortal Kombat movie that everybody was looking forward to. It was supposed to be the anti-1990s one that was PG-13 and hokey.
Fatality.
Yeah.
The previews made it look awesome. Tony and I were super excited about it. I did decide to see it here at home on HBO Max first before going to see it in theaters, and needless to say, I'm glad I did. I don't know if you felt the same way, Tone. We haven't talked about this beforehand, but
no. I thought you went to theater, so this is cool to hear that you did it on HBO Max, and I went to theater. So,
I think
Fight.
a lot of potential. You know, there were scenes that set it up for great action, great special effects. And then it turned around to be cheesy and hokey, especially when they were in Outworld, and the dialogue and the acting was just horrendous. Yes, it was a step up from the 1990s Mortal Kombat movies, but it was nowhere near the expectation I had set for it. It had that potential, but just wasn't quite there. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd give it 5.5.
Okay, you're being a little more fair than I was. I was thinking on a 1 to 10 scale, I was going to give it a 5.
Okay.
It's mediocre. The movie is definitely blah. It starts out with potential. It doesn't, it starts out with a very, we got an origin story of Scorpion, kind of.
And too.
Yeah, so the movie focuses around Sub-Zero and Scorpions, but it's really Sub-Zero. But it's just kind of lame. There's a guy named Cole, really generic person in the Mortal Kombat franchise. He's just set up in the movie, and at first, like, he's a cage fighter, but he gets his ass beat, and he doesn't win because his daughter told him to uppercut, which is weird because he looks super young, but then his daughter looks like she's almost 20, and then his wife looks like she's just like 20 something too. So the casting, it's hard because I thought it was maybe like the stepdad, but he was the real dad. But
yep. I
digress. They have a birthmark because they're chosen, which is the Mortal Kombat logo. And, I know you got like 50 seconds and I can't go into details. Let me just wrap it up for you in a horrible review. Bad acting, great action. The fatality, you see better stuff in the trailer than you actually do the movie. Pointless characters, people bitching and whining. There's no Johnny Cage in it, but they set it up at the end. Spoiler alert for a Johnny Cage. But and Liu Kang was terrible in this. He looked like a version of Michael Jackson and Street Fighter's Ryu. It was weird. It was lame. And Kung Lao was cool.
Yep.
Although his finish, like the way he got taken out, and Shang Tsung, and everyone's like, oh, won't Raiden be mad? And Raiden's the most pointless character in the movie. Oh my gosh. My advice to you guys is if you could stream it, it's worth a stream. Skip the theaters. 5 out of 10, mediocre movie, disappointed.
Exactly. I'll just leave you guys on this. There was a very wasted opportunity in the pit level stage that you expected to see what would happen in the pit level. It didn't. So with that, folks, we are headed into our break. When we come back, we're going to talk TV news. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga! To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Loot Crate horror box. What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crates starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott! Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go! Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know!
I know!
You don't! Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No! Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. And welcome back, folks, to the Proton Pack podcast. We are talking everything geeky, nerdy, pop culture-y. We just finished up with our review of Mortal Kombat. And again, if you want to save your money, don't see it in theaters. Watch it on HBO Max if you Well, in this segment, as we do each and every show, let's go ahead and roll on into the TV news.
Bazinga!
The cream of the crop!
Hey, baby.
Let's go, Bob.
Excellent.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby. So this first one excites me. I know it's a show that you haven't gotten into yet, but Robert Kirkman's Invincible has been renewed for season 2 and season 3 at Amazon. Kirkman announced the renewal on Thursday on Twitter by calling Stephen Yeun, who voices Mark Grayson, Invincible, to give him the great news. The ultra-violent animated comic book series debuted in March and will have its season 1 finale, on April 30th, which has already passed. He said, "I'm extremely thankful to Amazon for the support and dedication they've put behind Invincible." Kirkman said in a statement, "The comic book is truly a love letter to a genre that Cory Walker and I grew up reading and loving, and it's been a gratifying journey to watch our characters come to life again through the animated series. We're beyond excited to continue the story for at least 2 more seasons." Tony, I mentioned I started watching this to you. Story-wise, fantastic. Animation is great, especially if you love sort of that DC style of animation. It is ultra-violent. The gore is just beyond incredible. The only downfall I'd say is they tried to cram a lot of famous names and voices in there for the voice cast, which doesn't always play so well. You know, they're taking sort of that Owen Wilson, Lightning McQueen approach as opposed to having true voice actors voice the characters. There are some in there, but in some cases they just sound stiff and it doesn't play well. But the rest of it,
good news, everyone.
Phenomenal.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably add it to the list to start watching. I did watch. I got caught up on the last few days on TV, so I saw Bad Batch, which I enjoyed. Dave Filoni does a great job. It just feels like basically a sequel to Clone Wars. It's same style, everything, so it's a lot of fun. Invincible looks cool. Ultraviolet doesn't scare me at all. I mean, we just talked Mortal Kombat, so it's not going to be offensive to me, but I look forward to watching it and and giving you my opinion on it. And now with it is, how many episodes are there? Have you watched them all? I know there's only one season right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's 8 episodes. Each episode's about 44 minutes long. So, it's not a half-hour show. It's not a full hour show, but it keeps you engaged the entire time. I just finished episode 7, so I'm getting ready to watch episode 8, which is the season finale. And, of course, it's going to answer a lot of questions that were set up from the very beginning.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out because it's like The Boys. The Boys is something I started to watch, and I didn't get very far into it. Not that because it was bad. I just... time-wise, not a lot of time, but I'm going to try to start making some time to watch some of these things.
There you go. Cool. Well, let's move on to another series that I'm sure you'll watch. Finn Wittrock has landed the role of Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, in HBO Max's upcoming series based on the DC characters. Coming to us from Greg Berlanti, Mark Guggenheim, and Seth Graham-Smith.
Guggenheim!
The HBO Max series will reinvent the classic DC property through a story that will span decades and galaxies. Here's the official synopsis from HBO Max. Green Lantern reinvents the classic DC property through a story spanning decades and galaxies, as I just mentioned, beginning on Earth in 1941 with the very first Green Lantern, secretly gay FBI agent Alan Scott, and
Green Lantern!
In 1984 with cocky alpha male Guy Gardner and half-alien Bree Jarda.
Green Lantern!
They'll be joined by a multitude of other lanterns, from comic book favorites to never-before-seen heroes. There is no word yet on when it's going to hit HBO Max. I know they're working on it right now. Kind of bummed not to see Hal Jordan in there or John Jones. No, John Jones is Martian Manhunter. I'm going to get some crap for this. But
I was going to say, I don't know enough of Green Lantern to save you on that one, bro. I that's not my forte. Is that area.
Guy Gardner was always the redheaded one with the bowl cut. I thought he was the worst Green Lantern ever. Hopefully they do him right in this, though.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I look forward. Hey, it can't be any worse than the Ryan Reynolds one. So that was a bad movie. Oof.
Yeah. Even he regrets that. My guess is they're saving Hal Jordan for either later in the series if it takes off, or his own standalone DCEU movie.
Now, didn't he meet Blake Lively in that movie, though?
He did.
Okay, well, he got his wife out of it, so it's not a completely regret.
Exactly.
So that's good. Yeah.
So, and I think it's reined in a little bit more, especially with the way that these DC shows on HBO Max have been coming along. I think they'll serve it better than that pile of crap.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh,
Warner Brothers churns out some poopy ass movies, dude.
They do. Hopefully not for long now. So.
Well, we just saw Mortal Kombat, and that was a joint Warner Brother and New Line, and it was not good.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. That is good, guaranteed to be good. It's looking possible that Marvel's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as we mentioned towards the top of the show, as well as the upcoming Loki series, could see multiple seasons. But WandaVision looks more likely than ever to be a one-and-done show.
Mm-hmm.
IndieWire revealed that Falcon and Winter Soldier would be submitted to the Emmy Awards in the drama series category, whereas WandaVision will be submitted to the limited or anthology series categories. In part, that's because Marvel Studios doesn't want its streaming series to compete with one another for the same awards, but it also speaks to the studio's future plans. Marvel Studios VP of Production and Development Nate Moore wouldn't outright confirm a Falcon and Winter Soldier Season 2, but does absolutely want to leave the possibility open. Quote, "We've definitely kicked around ideas because we always like to keep thinking about where things can go, but we also, frankly, in the crush of the pandemic, we're just trying to finish the show and make sure it got out in a timely manner. Hopefully at the end of this season, you will see the potential for what we could tell in a subsequent season," which I think they set up nicely for, maybe a fourth movie, which we may talk about here in a little bit, or another Cap and Bucky. The dynamic between the two is fantastic. I would love to see more Zemo, where that goes. They're setting up for maybe a Thunderbolts movie with Zemo sort of leading the team. Or just more on what Sharon Carter's doing as the power broker and expanding that idea a little bit more. What are your thoughts, Tom?
I would love a second season of Cap and Bucky. They need to not call it the Captain America and the Winter Soldier, because obviously he's not that no more. There's a lot more I'd like to see of the characters. I'd like to see WandaVision would be cool, but you just can't really go that way. It told its story. It did what it did. It set up what it needs to set up for Doctor Strange, and it served its purpose. It was great as it was. I mean, minus the finale, could have been a little better. I mean, because that show was great. It was, every episode got better and better, and just the end just a couple of disappointing things. I had heard Doctor Strange was actually going to make an appearance, but then they didn't want to take away from Wanda and the woman thing. They didn't want another middle-aged white guy to save the day. Although if it serves the purpose of the story you're trying to tell, then just tell that story.
Exactly.
Because now you're catering to what other people think it should be. But if you're the one creating the vision and the story, go with your vision. Your vision's going to be probably, it doesn't matter which way you go. People are going to bitch either way. Just tell your version of the story. So would love with Loki, I haven't seen even the first season. I can already say, yes, please. Because Tom Hiddleston as Loki is fantastic. The movie the show already looks awesome. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and I know they announced that we're going to get it a couple days early now. I wonder if they're going to take the Bad Batch approach where they release the first episode on that Wednesday and the second episode on that Friday, and then each subsequent episode each Friday after that.
Yeah, that could be good. Either way, I'm looking forward to getting it a few days early. And, like Bad Batch, give that really kick-ass long feel for it. And then you get the shorter episodes.
Exactly. Either way, we're looking forward to it. And I think, both Falcon and Winter Soldier, whatever name that takes, and Loki could be better suited for ongoing series.
Yes. Awesome. Got to find out what goes on with Sharon Carter. Or we haven't got there yet, but when we talk about that other thing that's upcoming in movies, then maybe that's where you wrap that up. So
Exactly. And then finally here in TV news, it sort of bridges TV and movie a little bit. Well, though Disney Plus has been the streaming home for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and entries from other Marvel series like X-Men and Fantastic Four, Sony's Spider-Man movies have been a conspicuous absence from the platform's library until now. Future Spider-Man titles, along with other Sony films, will join Disney's library in the future as Disney and Sony have reached a new licensing agreement. Essentially, Netflix has first-run rights after the movies air. They'll play there, and then when they run their course on Netflix, they'll be landing on Disney for us to enjoy in its entirety. You know, we can see the entire cinematic universe for Marvel the way it's meant to be from a single source on Disney Plus. Are you excited about that?
Oh yeah, it's good news. I mean, great news for Sony, man. They can do all they want with building this Sony cinematic Marvel universe that they're talking about, but they're better suited to just play ball and because they're going to make their money because they've got a great deal with Netflix. They get paid bank for that. And then they have a deal with Disney where they get paid a crap ton from Disney, and their stuff is always going to be on a streaming platform. It doesn't matter. People have Netflix, people have Disney Plus. So very smart on Sony's part, man.
Yep. Ride that wave, ride that money train. Well, folks, that does it for this segment of TV news. We're headed into the break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking the weekend box office, movie news, and our trailer of the week. Don't go anywhere.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Welcome back, folks, to the Proton Pack podcast. Last break, we talked TV news. Now we're headed into movies, but not before we talk about the weekend box office. Well, moviegoers who were craving a bit of action this weekend got their fix with Wrath of Man, putting it on top of the box office with an estimated opening of $8.1 million. Of course, this reunites director Guy Ritchie with Jason Statham. They'd worked together previously in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, Revolver. And you know what? It's for an R-rated movie back in theaters to take that top spot, even with $8.1 million, I think it did pretty well.
I'd say so.
Yeah. So far, the worldwide total is $25.6 million. And apparently it also stars Josh Hartnett, who you mentioned earlier. I didn't realize he was even still acting.
Yeah, I didn't know he had done a movie in a long time. I remember him being very popular back in the late 90s with The Faculty and Pearl Harbor and Halloween H2O.
30 Days of Night.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that, yeah.
And most recently, I know he was in the Showtime series Penny Dreadful, but even that ran up until, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? So
yeah, that's good on him. Still acting, though.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to see him in more projects. Moving on in the box office, the R-rated anime Demon Slayer, the movie Mugen Train.
Mugen.
With another $3.05 million, has a domestic total of $39.6 million and $474 million worldwide.
Yeah, dang. Let's hit that ka-ching again. That's a lot of money.
Wow. That is huge, especially for an anime that I've never heard of. I know you haven't.
No. When I was doing Pop Culture Kaboom with Jimmy, that he talked about it on there a lot, and I over my head.
In third place was the craptastic Mortal Kombat with $2.3 million. So far with a domestic total of 37.8, worldwide at 72.5. Only cost $55 million to make, and boy, does it show.
Oh, it's so disappointing, man.
It really was.
What do you think, too? We didn't talk about it in the review, but Jax's little metal arms. When they put us things, yeah, I can't do anything with these little arms.
The little baby arms.
Yeah, and then, but he willed his dragon power, and then all he had to do, he could get his buff metal arms, which is so stupid. Like, wouldn't you just wish for your big buff arms to just come back?
Totally, right?
Yeah.
I just realized I forgot to start the clock, so we'll rough it out. But in fourth place, Godzilla vs. Kong. That one was a much more enjoyable watch, especially in theaters, with $1.93 million, bringing its domestic total to $92.9 million, and a worldwide total of $122 million, which good for them. I mean,
making that money.
Yep. In fifth place, Disney's animated adventure Raya and the Last Dragon brought in another $1.8 million, domestic total of $43.8, worldwide total of $105.7 million. Of course, that doesn't take into account any Premier Access money that I'm sure skyrocketed that too.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Like that couldn't have gotten a bigger release. I bet it's a good movie. I've never seen it though.
I'm sure it is too. I'm just going to wait until it comes out on regular Disney Plus.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am. I'm also disappointed because Pixar's not releasing their Disney's not releasing the next Pixar movie. That's going straight in.
Yeah,
I think it's called Luca or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. They're usually pretty good. So well worth a watch. Rounding out the top 10, you had Separation in sixth place with $1.07 million. Here Today with $900,000. Nobody is hanging in there with $760,000. Negan's The Unholy with $730,000, and then Tom and Jerry, who kicked off the summer movie back to theater season with another $426,000. So
that's still doing good, man.
Yeah, movies we've actually heard of in the top 10. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, and we have movies coming out this week too. I don't know if we'll get to the theater to see any of this week, but Spiral, the Book of Saw, comes out this week. Angelina Jolie movie. I don't have my list in front of me.
Those Who Wish Me Dead. And that's
okay.
all HBO Max.
Yeah, so those are your two big ones this week.
Exactly. Well, folks, that does it for the box office report. Let's go ahead and roll on into the movie news.
Movies?
Here we go.
Are you the Keymaster?
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. They're going to see some serious shit.
Yeah, you are, Doc Brown. Well, in movie news, I think one of the biggest things and something that we were super excited that sort of dropped out of nowhere is our trailer of the week and the brand new trailer for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Let's go ahead and play that for you guys. We'll take a look and talk about it afterwards. So let's go ahead and go.
I say either. You say either. I say neither. And I say neither. Neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Ta-da! Yummy.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
I've been thinking about you, Eddie.
Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number.
Because you and I are the same. Every decision we ever make. Who do we leave behind? And how do we leave them? Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes. Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's been a long time. Miss you.
Glad he lost the fro.
Munson!
Soon come chaos. Chaos soon come.
Is the loneliest number that you ever do.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
Nothing.
Man, that looks good.
It does look very good. Sounds like Venom's voice is a little different, though, huh?
Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier that, I don't know, because Tom Hardy did the voice of Venom in the first one, and yeah, you get that, but, Andy Serkis is directing this one. I wonder if Andy Serkis doesn't voice Venom in this iteration. Yeah, it's a little more lighthearted and funny than the first one. Seems darker than the first one. I hope they give it that R rating that the original Venom was supposed to get. Then they backed it off to PG-13.
Right.
Do it right. And of course, Carnage looks badass.
Yeah, he does. And like you said, no fro this time.
Yep.
Which is good. Yeah. And nice Axel Foley Beverly Hills Cop jacket there.
I like that too. But yeah, you get the same tone and feel of the original, but you can definitely see Andy Serkis's influence in directing this one. And just the fact that they are bringing Carnage into it. There was also a sneak peek of the actress who will play Shriek, who's another symbiote. And, unlike the first one with characters that the wayward Spider-Man fan really wasn't familiar with aside from Venom himself.
Right. So this will kind of explore more of that. And I was reading too, in this universe, they don't know Spider-Man exists. So
interesting.
There won't be no Spider-Man tie-in or anything like that. So,
okay.
Because in this particular, like where they're at in the story, they don't know he exists. Not saying they couldn't go that route, but just
interesting. So it may all take place before Spider-Man became Spider-Man, and that's how they might explain it away. But we know that in Morbius, which takes place in this universe, we saw Michael Keaton, who played the Vulture in Spider-Man. So it will tie together at some point, just maybe not in this film itself.
Yeah, not unless they're just keeping it like close to the vest, which is smart. So, because this comes out before Spider-Man 3, so.
Exactly. Now, moving on inside the Marvel universe, apparently, and something we alluded to in the last segment, Marvel Studios is developing an Anthony Mackie starring Captain America 4 feature film and prepping a project that would see Chris Evans return to the Steve Rogers role, according to a new report. On the same day that Sam Wilson suited up for the first time as the all-new Captain America in the finale of Disney Plus's The Falcon and Winter Soldier, The Hollywood Reporter reported series creator Malcolm Spellman will co-write an as-yet untitled Captain America 4 with series staff writer Dallin Musson. The announcement comes months after the rumored return of Steve Rogers, played by Evans, who was last seen handing the Star-Spangled Shield of Captain America to Mackie's Falcon in 2019's Avengers Endgame. Tony, what do you think about Steve Rogers returning, Sam Wilson taking over the mantle, and them putting a movie around that?
Is Steve Rogers going to be just like a show, or is he just going to be in the movie?
I assume based on this that he's part of the feature film. And we know in the comic book canon that a souped up old Steve Rogers had to come out of retirement at one point to help out, be Captain America, those sorts of things. So maybe that's what we'll get in this, where he'll play old Steve Rogers, but have those, superpowers again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I know they never specify, like they don't ever say he's dead.
Right.
Because he's not dead. He just went back in time to be with Peggy and he got old. That was it.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing. A lot of the rumors are saying that, that timeline version of him that went back to return the stones, went back, spent time with Peggy, and he watched all of the series of the Avengers sort of unfold with the other version of Captain America doing what he did. So it'd be interesting to see that explored and see how that they explain that. Okay.
I was going to say, I wouldn't mind having a show explaining him going back to put the stones back. Because that was kind of rushed. And you're like, wait, so that meant he had to face Red Skrull again, or was it Black Widow now since she had to sacrifice herself, cool things to have seen, you'd want to see. So I'd be cool with the Steve Rogers there. But I don't think you need to have him in the Sam Wilson movie. If you're going to go full tilt Boogie as him as the new Cap, you ride him as the new Cap and just go forward. You don't need to you can have Chris Evans's flashbacks or something, but you won't need much of him in it. Exactly. I'd actually like to have Sebastian Stan back for Bucky in it, and I'd like to see Sharon and everything that unfolded in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Tie that into the movie,
and a little more awesome. Little more Zemo dance as well.
Yeah, so. Zemo, man, gotta have vicious Zemo, not just on the raft Zemo. Yeah. So these characters are still around. I can't wait to see what they do with them next. So. Yeah.
And then finally, in entertainment news, well, Dave Bautista is already a part of the MCU thanks to his role as Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. But what would it take for the actor to join the DCEU? Bautista has expressed interest in bringing one particular DC Comics character to life on the big screen. During a recent interview at Justice Con, Bautista was asked by a fan to name a DC character he would like to play. At first, Bautista goes with the Batman supervillain Bane, but soon more definitive answer falls on the interstellar mercenary Lobo. I could see him playing Lobo, especially if maybe James Gunn gets behind the camera, since we know he's already doing the Suicide Squad. We do know that he's probably not going to return as Drax following Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, it might be fun to see him in that role. Real quick, Tone, what's your thought?
Yeah, I think he'd be great. He fits in well, and like you said, this will be his final run in Guardians. But unless he's in the holiday special, then he'll be in that too. But other than that, that'll be the end of Drax.
Yep. Speaking of the end of things, this is the end of this segment. We are headed into the break. When we come back, we're going to be talking video game news. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a few.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Loot Crate Horror Box. What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crates starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIXmedia.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Welcome back, folks, to the final episode of this. The final segment of this episode.
The final episode, surprise! It's over.
We covered TV news, we covered movie news, and as we do closing things out each and every episode, it's time to talk video games.
Hey man, you want to play some video games? Hadouken!
Well, Star Wars fans, it appears to finally be happening. We've heard rumors for some time now about a new Knights of the Old Republic video game, be it a remake, revamp of some sort, or something else entirely. Now, we have everything shy of confirmation from Lucasfilm that the project is indeed coming down the pipeline. It has now come to light that Asper Media is developing the long-awaited game. The news first surfaced on a recent episode of Min-Max. Host Ben Hansen was interviewing reporter Jason Schreier, who is a trusted insider working for reputable sites such as Bloomberg. Hansen prodded a bit about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, and that's when Schreier revealed that Asper is developing the game. Here's what he had to say. That's true. This is public at this point. I basically confirmed that Asper, which is the company that has ported a bunch of KOTOR, acronym for it, games, is working on that. So there's your headline, Ben. Now, Tony, I don't know about you. I never played Knights of the Old Republic. It was more of a PC game than the console games. There's a huge following. It is part of Star Wars canon. Is this something that excites you? Is this something you'll pick up if they do either a remake or a new version of it for consoles?
Oh, I'll try it out for sure. I don't know if I'll pick it up. I'm kind of hesitant to pick up any Star Wars games because they're just okay. And then like you get kind of burned. You spend all this money and then they show up on like Xbox Game Pass for free. And it's like, well, not for free. You're paying for Game Pass, but it's like, why'd I spend all that money on the game then?
Right. Well, what's exciting is, for the longest time, EA had the sole license to the Star Wars games, and some were okay, some were better than others, some were just downright terrible, but it was only managed by EA. Well, now they open that up to other developers, so we may get some better quality Star Wars games moving forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They had some good games. I know they've slowly released some gems like Star Wars Pod Racing that we used to play on the Dreamcast.
Yep.
You could get that on the digital stores now, which is cool. So yeah, it could be good. I never played Knights of the Old Republic. They made 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And I never played either one, though. But I've heard great things about the game.
Yeah, and the cinematic scenes were beautiful. I mean, from the things that I've seen pop up on my news feeds and watched on YouTube. But again, just like everything else, I don't have time for these big epic games. So, if it's something I can pick up, play for 20 minutes, put down, sure, I'll check it out.
Right. That's about me, too.
Yeah. Speaking of checking things out, Tony, are you excited for E3 this year?
I am.
Most people are now. It looks like it is still a virtual event, but developer, I guess you could call them, Konami is working on several key projects, but it will not be attending E3. The publisher, best known for Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill, released an update saying its plans to sit this year's show out. Quote, due to timing, we will not be ready to present at E3 this year, Konami wrote in a tweet. We want to reassure our fans that we are in deep development on a number of key projects, so please stay tuned for some updated in the coming months. Konami's announcement is a reversal of the previous confirmation that it would be attending the show scheduled for June. It was originally listed alongside Capcom, Ubisoft, Take-Two Interactive, Warner Brothers Games, Koch Media, Nintendo, and Xbox as an E3 2021 attendee. If they have to sit out an E3, this is probably the one to do it. Again, it's still not an in-person event. Hopefully they give each developer their own sort of showcase in the virtual space. And, they do it in a way that they really highlight some new exciting games that are coming out.
Yeah, love E3 just mainly for us being not able to go. I think it's perfect to have the virtual event. Like you said, give everybody good showcasing. Nintendo's supposed to have a huge presence. Sega, Capcom, Ubisoft. Konami's gone downhill over the years. They haven't made. They've released the compilations of Contra, Castlevania, and stuff, but they didn't even really give those the due diligence they could have had. They could have been a lot better. They were just kind of slapped together, like, here you go.
And especially with this resurgence of like retro 2D type games, like what we're going to see in TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
Do a new version of Castlevania. Do a new version of Contra. Something fans will get excited about.
Yeah, or release like things that you just didn't expect coming. Like we don't need another Metal Gear.
No,
because you don't have Hideo something. I don't know his last name, but the creator, that's not even there anymore. So,
right.
And just that's the thing. Konami is they used to be like, they were the big arcade game guys. They were the X-Men, Ninja Turtles, Simpsons, things like that. Like, get us excited. Bring back some nostalgia stuff, work with Nickelodeon and re-release Turtles arcade game on the Switch or something. Yeah. I know we're getting Shredder's Revenge, but hey, it'd be nice to say like, hey, while Shredder's Revenge is coming, check out the games that's inspired from or something like that.
Yep.
Because then once people play that, they're gonna be like, I'm really excited about this.
And their horror franchise, Silent Hill, has always been sort of a second-rate Resident Evil. And so, we don't need more Metal Gear. We don't need more Silent Hill. Bring back some of the things that people truly love and crave.
Yeah, Gradius, was that a fun one? The shoot 'em, that was a good game. But like Capcom, I know is going to bring it. I hope surprises. There's rumors of games that you're like, okay, like with Nintendo, you expect Zelda. It's the 35th anniversary, so you expect a lot of Zelda news. Like I'd love like maybe a Mario Kart 9.
Yeah,
they haven't made a new Mario Kart in a long time. One Up Arcade is going to have a presence there. One of their games leaked. I'm sure they're not thrilled about it, but Simpsons arcade game got leaked. So they're going to be doing a Simpsons arcade game, and it's going to have Simpsons bowling on it as well.
That's cool. I'm still waiting for them to put the X-Men arcade on sale. They've been promoting it for almost a year, and it still is not on sale yet.
Yeah, that's another big one. So that's one of their big leaked games that I'm sure they're not thrilled got out. But hey, that's badass. You get a chance to have the Simpsons arcade game, one of the best beat 'em ups. But it's the same thing, like Ninja Turtle. You got to get these games when you can, because when they go, they're gone.
Yep. Well, moving on in video game news. Now, this is something that did take place while we were out last week, but I think it's still worth mentioning on how awesome it is that they did it. The Call of Duty Endowment, the nonprofit charity that helps military veterans, held an in-game event in Call of Duty Warzone in order to raise money to support veteran medics and hospital corpsmen as part of the Military Appreciation Month. Additionally, a new DLC pack for Warzone and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is also being sold to raise funds for the cause. The event is the Rival Challenge, which started April 30th, ran through May 9th. Reviving 5 people in Warzone will unlock a new Call of Duty Endowment calling card.
Yay!
Should 1 million players unlock this card, a double XP day will be held for all Warzone players. Additionally, for every Revival Challenge completed, Activision Blizzard pledged to donate $1 to the charity up to $1 million, which I think is an awesome thing to incorporate video games with what's happening out in the real life.
Yeah, I think that's good. I'm over the Call of Duty games at this point. I've bought in the last 2 years, and I've barely played either one of them. I think I'm just over it. Like it's like 100 gigabyte download anymore for the games. It eats up your whole freaking hard drive. So it's just
Yep. But they were fun games, and I liked them better than the other war simulation games.
Battlefield and stuff. Yeah.
I may pick up a new one, but in the meantime, it's awesome to see that they.
That's a great cause, though.
To support those veterans. Exactly. Well, folks, that does it for our show for today. We want to thank you for chiming in. Of course, you can always follow us online anywhere, facebook.com/Proton Pack Podcast, or you can find more about the show at phoenixmedia.us/Proton Pack. Tony, anything you want to say to the folks before we head out?
Thank you again for supporting us and on all our new endeavors, and hopefully you guys are liking the new format. I know it's a lot shorter and it's not as interactive as it used to be, but check us out on Kristian Phoenix, where it is a little more interactive Monday through Friday. Find us out here on the Fenix Media Network, and that's about it. And thank you for support. Share, subscribe, like this video, share it. The more eyes we get out there, the more we can do these things for you. So thanks a lot for your continued support.
Exactly. Until next week, folks, we'll see you again.
I am.
Peace.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Woo!
Mommy, where's Fluffy?
Goodbye.